morning. Another day. Today was day 10 of my 35 days to change my life. So I'm almost a third of the way there, and I can't say that there's any significant change. I have worked out every single day of it though. So from an inspiration standpoint and a discipline standpoint, I feel good. I feel great, and maybe that is the change. I know I'm always looking for something bigger, something more substantial. Somehow I'm gonna get $1 billion in this 35 days or something. Whatever. I want to just talk about though the discipline that's involved and the things that I'm realizing. And this isn't the first time that I've been on this journey and lost this kind of weight, but it is the first time I've done it eating in this fashion and working out and whatnot. So the results certainly speak for themselves, and I still have a ways to go. But I'm super happy about the progress and where I'm going with it. The one thing I want to talk about though is being that I spent roughly 40 years of my life being the weight of two people, being super obese, oftentimes teetering in the range of 400 pounds, and probably at some point even being over that, probably 4.25. And what I weigh now, I don't know, and it's almost irrelevant to me because it's more to me a matter of how I feel. But I want to talk about the lies that I told myself when I was obese, because that's what they were. They were lies. I acted like I got comfortable and I didn't give a shit about what people thought about me. But in reality, I didn't want to be that. I didn't want to be that fat person. I never did, but I felt trapped, and it felt like an insurmountable task. And it still feels insurmountable on some level to me. But it's something that has to change, or I realized that I wasn't going to live long enough to see my daughters get married, perhaps, or see my granddaughters get to high school, or whatever the case is going to be. It was all a lie, and it was a lie to myself, and all it was it wasn't, I just settled. I settled for being in that shape and being that version of myself, and then was able to numb the torture that it was being that weight. The idea that you can't tie your shoes or put on socks without getting winded, or run or do stairs or play with my grandkids. It was all a lie. And now I'm awake and enlightened to the idea that this version of me is just the beginning version of the man that I wish to become. There is so much more in this world and in this life for me, and if I have any regrets, they are my regrets, is that I wasted 25 years or so, half of my life, at a weight of being two people and not being able to do the things that I wanted to be able to do, and convince myself things like I was strong because I was big, and I didn't give a shit. And like I said, I always say this, but it was really torturous to buy pants at Walmart and only be able to wear Dickies t-shirts because they were the only people that made shit in your size. The idea that I couldn't ever wear a pair of I don't want to call them designer jeans because I'm not wealthy like that, but I certainly couldn't shop at the Gap or Aeropostale or Hollister or any of those companies. You know what I mean? I could today if I wanted to. And they didn't sell none of them companies sell t-shirts in 3X and 4X. It was what it was. But I'm here now, and this is the progress, and I'm going to keep posting content about my journey and how I feel, and I'm trying to change my life for the better, and so I'm going to keep making videos and posting about what things I think, the way it's being shaped. So that's it for this one. Thanks.